You ever watch a commercial and just feel like it's speaking directly to you? I mean, in just a few seconds, it somehow connects with you, builds trust, and makes this really compelling case. How on earth do they do that? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain. We're going to take a short, simple ad and just tear it down, line by line, to show you the powerful persuasion blueprint that's hidden right inside. All right, let's dive in.
So here's the secret. The best, most effective persuasion, it never starts with a sales pitch or a long list of facts. Nope, it doesn't appeal to your brain first, it goes straight for the heart. The absolute first step is always to create an emotional connection, right? To find some kind of common ground. And this ad, wow, it does this in its very first sentence.
And boom, there it is. See? That line has nothing to do with medicine or doctors. It's talking about a deep, universal truth of being a parent. It completely bypasses our logical defenses and taps right into that powerful, protective, just overwhelming love that a parent feels. It's not selling a service here. It's validating an emotion. It's saying, we see you. We get it.
Okay, so once that emotional hook is set, the ad can't just leave you hanging. It has to build on that feeling. It uses that shared emotion as a foundation, really, to build a shared goal, a mission that now both the parent and the advertiser are on together. This right here, this is the critical point. This phrase is basically the ad's main argument. It takes all that powerful emotion from the first line and turns it into a promise. It's saying, we understand what drives you, and hey, we're here to help you make it happen. So now, everything that comes next is framed as the solution for delivering on that deeply personal value. What we've just seen is basically a masterclass in a classic persuasion technique called pathos. You know, it's the art of appealing to emotion. And there's a really good reason this works so well. Psychologically speaking, our brains are just wired to process emotion way before logic. So by starting with the heart, the ad makes you open, it makes you receptive to all the information that's about to come your way. All right, so they've made you feel understood. But let's be real. Emotion alone isn't enough to make a huge decision, especially when it comes to your kid's health. So now the ad has to pivot. It's got to build a bridge from that feeling over to fact. It needs to construct a really solid foundation of credibility and trust. And it does this beautifully by using a two-pronged approach. See, it gets that parents are looking for two key things in a pediatrician. You want undeniable professional skill, but you also want a warm human connection. So the ad promises to deliver both. Let's look at exactly how it builds these two pillars. Here we go. Pillar number one, expertise. The words they chose here are so important. It doesn't just say our doctors. No, it says our board-certified pediatricians. That specific phrase is a really powerful shortcut. It immediately signals a high level of training, authority, and professional credibility, and it doesn't need to explain a thing. And then you get the second pillar, which is just as crucial. Right after establishing their authority, the ad immediately softens up. It promises that these experts aren't just, cold and distant. They get the human side of medicine, that you need a real relationship. It's the perfect balance, really, of competence and care. So we've got an emotional connection, we've got a foundation of trust. But what does the best care actually look like? What does that mean? The ad now has to move from these abstract promises to something concrete, something you can actually picture. It's time to show its unique value. And this just illustrates the core promise perfectly. Look, on one side you have the clinical stuff, meeting his milestones. That's what every pediatrician on the planet does. But on the other side, you get the personal details that make a kid who they are, their love for stuffed animals, or soccer, or science. The message is crystal clear. We don't just treat the chart, we care for the actual person.
And here it is, the emotional payoff. Notice how this line is a direct echo of that initial desire from the parent to provide nothing but the best. It closes the loop. It connects the action, choosing this clinic, directly to fulfilling that deep emotional promise they made to their child from the very beginning. It's so well done.
Now we're at the final, crucial piece of the puzzle. Every persuasive message has to lead somewhere, right? After hooking your heart, building up trust, and defining the promise, there's only one thing left to do. Make the ask. This is the call to action, and you'll see that its simplicity is its greatest strength.
I mean, just look at how gentle this is. It doesn't scream, call now, or book an appointment. It just says, so talk to a doc. It's so low pressure. It feels less like a command and way more like a friendly invitation to just start a conversation. It's an easy, accessible first step for any parent to take.
So, when you strip it all away, this is the elegant, four-step blueprint we've just uncovered. It's really that simple. First, You hook the heart with a shared emotion. Second, you build trust with that perfect mix of expertise and humanity. Third, you define your unique promise in a way people can actually see. And finally, you make a simple, low-barrier ask. This structure is incredibly effective, and it's used absolutely everywhere, not just in commercials. You'll see it in speeches, in presentations, even in everyday conversations. So the real takeaway here is this. Now that you can see the architecture of persuasion, how's that going to change the way you see all the messages around you? What are you going to notice tomorrow that you didn't notice today?